Right. Okay. So I hope everyone shared your details. Please share your chat box so that I can collect from there. I'll forward you this recording, whatever we're discussing it, and as well as the document and the material. Okay, the course content, what we are going to discuss in data factory. All right. So for today, I'll just take you the basic details, like what we are doing as we are here for Azure. Okay, what is the Azure? What we are doing in the Azure? Yes, definitely we are more focusing on the data factory part. Yes, definitely we are focusing on Azure Data Factory. Before going to this Azure Data Factory, we'll discuss what is Azure. Okay, and what is Azure? Before going to Azure, we'll understand why people are moving to the clouds. What is cloud? And what is the on-premises? Okay, then we'll discuss what are the services, topics that we are going to discuss in Azure. Okay, and then we'll discuss Azure types, I mean the cloud types, and the cloud providers. First, we'll discuss about what is cloud, what is on-premises, and moreover, we are learning here the Azure BA. So what is a BA here? The term BA. So we know the tools, different tools like a BA. One of the tool is Power BI, MS BI, Tableau BI, right? We heard these all names. ClickView, Informatica, some SAP tool, some Cognos reporting tool, some other tools, SSRS tool or SSIS tool, SSRS tool. There are many tools that we have regarding your BA. But what we do in BA, and one of the tool is again come across in Azure. We are calling as Azure BA. What actually we do in BA? What is a BA means? Anyone?
It's business intelligence.
Okay, business intelligence. But what actually we do? Business intelligence. There are many BA tools. What we actually do?
The data, business data actually, yeah.
Your voice is like
Data analysis and reporting we do in BI.
data analysis
And reporting.
reporting. Okay, data analysis, reporting. Any other things? Data.
To visualize the data.
Data warehousing as well.
Data warehousing. Okay. And else?
And ETL.
ETL. Okay. Next. What else? Yeah, mostly we do play with data. So when you talk about the BI, okay, when we talk about the BI, just we're going to play with data. Okay, how you're going to play with the data, whether it's the reporting, whether in data warehouse, whether in the analysis, whatever it may be. We only play with the data. So how exactly that means BI? What exactly BI we do? What we have, what we are going to do in BI? Why company are required these developers? Even the softwares today, you will be there or not. It keep on fluctuating the new tools. But business intelligence will be always evergreen and you'll have a lot of opportunities in BI. And you can see data analysis, data part, data scientists, data engineers, they have a lot of huge salaries. Why? Why? Because of what we do in BA. So the more important here is the flow that we're going to do in the BI, the what is the flow exactly that means. So let's take one basic example before going to our Azure topics. First, we'll understand what is BI. If you understand BI, you can jump in any tool, not only in the data factory, you can jump any of the tool next coming, but understand what is BI, what exactly help in the business, what exactly help in the company's level, why they are paying lakhs of salaries, what actually these BI developers will do. Yeah, dedicatedly reporting tool, dedicatedly ETL, dedicatedly other kind of role. But what we are doing in this Azure or BI. So definitely we do analysis. On what way we do analysis? Let's take one basic example. I'll not go much practically today. First, we'll understand. If you understand this, later you can decide which tool you want to go for. Okay, first let's understand what is we do in BI, why companies are required BI developers, why there is a huge market for BA, and it is evergreen. Whenever you go in any tool, they'll have a requirements. More important is BA. Let's take one basic example. I hope everyone can able to see the screen. MS Paint.
Yes.
All right. So let's take one supermarket. Okay. One supermarket. Let's take DMart only. Okay. What we do in DMart, there's a supermarket that we, whatever the products are there, we purchase them. Okay. Whatever kind of products. As a customer, I'll go to that store. Okay. I'll go to the store, and in the store, I'll purchase some products. It may be any kind of product based on the categories. So what we do generally when we purchase any product, what happens? We going to do a billing. If you observe in the billing part, they have one systems, applications. They have installed one applications which developed in Java, .NET, or other whatever the languages they use. That's a billing application which they are using it, billing application. In that billing application, whatever they do a barcode, when we do billing, that information will capture the product details and the product quantity, the price, the discount amount, or other details. Okay, discount amount, other details. So this information, when this all information will capture in one system. What happened when we are starting any person, they are starting a business. What they do, they are from a business background, they invest a lot of money on the business level. Okay, these are the business developer, business users. Okay, or the owners who spend a lot of amount or to start this business. What end of the day, what they required is they want to know whether they are invested properly or they have want to see a kind of revenue generating or not, how many transactions are getting on daily basis, whether they are getting some profit or not. By seeing some graphs, by seeing some reports, they can take a business decisions. So who is generating this graph? Okay, sir, I am a Power BI developer. I know how to generate the reports. Okay, you are generating the report. Who will give how these people are generating this report? No, sir, we have a data. Through data, we are generating some report. Okay. Who is going to provide you the data? Who is going to provide you data? So there is a ETL developer, sir, who every day extract the data from a different sources and they dump the data. We get this data and through data, we will be generating some reports. That report will be understood by a business user for this one. So whatever you are doing, end of the day, what they want is they want to take up business decisions. Okay, based on your given report, based on given your data, they will take on business decisions, whether the product going high or product going down. Generally, this business people, what they do high level of reporting. High level of reporting. That means they never see which customer purchased what product. They see year-wise data. They see monthly wise data. They see weekly wise product sales, how much sales are generating, what is revenue, daily revenues, monthly revenues. They never see which customer is purchasing what product. This is we call high level of reporting. To generate this report, We have to get this information from this application. So when you are getting a millions of transactions on daily basis, you cannot store this data over here. So that is what we are doing is we are storing that all information in one storage account. That storage account we are calling here as live storage account. Generally, we call in terminology as live storage account, you can call, or we are calling it as OLTP storages. The storage may be dependent upon company level. They want on-premises files, they want CSV, TXT, Excel, or they want databases, SQL database, Oracle database, or they want cloud storages like data lake, blob storages, file share storages, Azure SQL storages, what they want. So whatever they have budget, based on that, the data will store here, live data. Why? Because we cannot store all requirements, all data in the same system. That is what we store the data in live storages. From there, maximum here also, you can store maximum 1 month data or max to max 6 months data. Why 1 month data, 6 months data? Because when you are going to do some operations, customer will come to you, no, this is product I want to return, I want to purchase. So that time what is happening here is in the database, it is inserting some records, it is updating some records. When there is a millions of transactions, it is degrade your performance in the live storages. That is what any company, not more than 1 month they store in the live storage. But our client is asking me 5 years of data. They want to do a report. They want to analyze the data. How we are going to give them 5 years of data? So that is what now BI developers will come into the picture. So these people are required yearly data, last years of data. So now our BI work will start from here. Our work will start from here as a BA developers, whatever the developer is there. Okay, it may be your other any developer. Now this people what they do, our store, let's suppose I started morning 9 a.m. My store will close at 10 p.m. After 10 p.m. there will be no traffic, no insertions will be done. So that time I'm going to create one ETL tool. That ETL will extract this data. Whatever the data is there, that data will be extracted through your ETL tool. That is your SSIS, whether it is your data factory or any other ETL tools. So this data will be extracted, clean, transformed into a proper data, because we don't know with different databases, different storages, different on-premises, different cloud storage we are getting it. So that data will be transformed into a cleaning data, into proper data and stored in one database. Stored in one database. The database you are calling a data warehouse, or you are calling as OLAP system. This data is used only for analysis, only for report generations. This data only for querying it. So only readable data will be stored here. And this data we call as data warehouse data. A huge volume of data every day. This is something called automation. Okay, one time you develop it to the data factory, and every day at morning, let's suppose you want to schedule it morning 5 a.m. Every day this will be executed and data will be pushed to the data warehouse. Now you can connect whatever the reports you want as per the client. Now you can connect. You want Power BI, connect it Power BI. You want SSRS, connect SSRS. You want Tableau, connect Tableau. Any reporting tool you can connect here. You want Power BI, connect it Power BI. You want SSRS, connect SSRS. You want some other reporting tools, connect other reporting tools. And you can get the data from these servers. You can get the data from the server. The problem here is what happened here is, so either you know Power BI, get it, and develop some visualization, share that data to the end user. Okay, any reporting tool, their work is to just develop the reports. Whatever we give the data, they'll develop it. No, if the report developer is not there, what happens? SQL developer will come into the picture. SQL developer, what they do? They query the data from these databases. Whatever the output they get, that output they'll keep in Excel and they'll share with the client. Earlier they were doing same thing. Now we got a new tools. Instead of doing the query, the same query, what they are doing, the same query they are keeping inside the reporting tool. The same query they are keeping inside. What is that? Reporting is nothing but SQL query. Either instead of doing manual work, this is something called automation tools. So when you are trying to query the data, what will happen? When you develop the visualizations, that somebody is open the report, that report contains the query. The query will hit to the database, and in response, you will get the result. But here we have a huge volume of data. In my data warehouse, there's a huge volume of data. It takes a lot of time to get the output. That is what we do again, the ETL developers. They will maintain some summarized databases. This is my summarized database. Again, this data through my ETL tool, whether it's a data factory, ETL tool, through ETL tool, I'm going to move my summarized data or calculated data. That all data I'm going to store in my here. So instead of querying in the database, in the data warehouse, I'll query directly from summarized. Some company, they maintain the cubes. Some company, they maintain the cubes because they want to get quick analysis, whether it's a multidimensional, whether there is a tabular model or anything. So to get a quick analysis, again, we have to load the data through ETL. Again, we required here also data factory. Here also we required ETL. Some company, they maintain the data marts, chunks of databases, specific databases. If you are hired for only for to work on a department, only you want to develop the report on HR department, or you want to work only on IT or finance department reports, this is called data marts. So chunks of databases. Again, here you're going to load through ETL. So you can see wherever it is using the ETL, that is your role. That is your role. Wherever it is using the ETL, that is your more responsible. Here you're going to do. So tell me now how these people are using this while generating the report. Until unless as a ETL developer or data factory developer, these people will not have any work. Until unless you give some data to them, then only they can develop some reports. If you don't give any data, how they are going to generate the reports? How they are going to get this? So this is nothing but just a query. This is a query which they are keeping inside the templates. These are some reporting. So until you deliver the report, this is we call as BI end-to-end process. BI end-to-end process. To deliver the report, we have to go through these all steps. We required these developers, we required the separate developers, database developers, ETL developers, and we are extracting it. These people doesn't know all these things. They just want a report. However you generate it. We want to see the data. End of the day, we want to see the data. How it is happening, what is BI process is happening, why we are calling as a business intelligence, how we are getting the data, what are the different formats of data we are getting it, how we are moving into one centralized data warehouse, and from there, how we are moving into summarized data, that how will be help to these users, reporting users, that is more important. So this is something called a BI end-to-end process. BI end-to-end process. So Power BI, whatever in your mind is there, it is not a ETL tool. It is just a reporting tool. Don't get confused with your Power BI and your Azure BI. Azure BI is nothing but it having a many services. Okay, what is service? I'll tell you. Before that, let me first explain you what is happening here. This is currently organization are using on-premises setup. These people, the business owner, to start this business, to send a report, they have to start up this complete business. They have to get machines, they have a required storages, they required ETL tools, data warehouse, SQL server is required. These all are on premises. Whatever we are discussing, it is on premises. You require physical software. Now what happened? Instead of hiring separate developers, instead of hiring separate IT developers, instead of hiring separate SQL developers, installations, what Microsoft suggested here is not only for installation process, if you want to set up this business, you require full of license. For when you go for even SQL Server also, you have a enterprise editions, you have evaluation edition, you have a express editions, developer editions. How you going to take the editions, the softwares, it will cost you. And let's suppose if the project is for 3 months or 6 months, if you purchase a full of license, then after what you do? You cannot sell in the OLX or somewhere this software for second hand. That is what, to purchase this full of license, what Microsoft suggested is they are implemented concept called cloud. Don't think that cloud means we are storing in the cloud. Definitely we store in the cloud. Again, they have a setup. So what Microsoft come across, they come across with a concept called cloud. What we are saying is, what Microsoft is saying is, instead of maintaining the system in your company level, we will help you to manage that system. Instead of managing the storages, instead of hiring a separate storages developers, managing storage developers, we are going to help you to store the data. And you don't need to purchase at all. Whatever the storages are there, you don't need to purchase at all. We are going to help them. If you are using for ETL for structured data, we are going to give you a beautiful tool called Data Factory, which handle any format of data. Not only structure, any format of data it will handle. Instead of purchasing SQL Server license, we are going to give you a license not to get purchased. How much you are storing it amount. See, in your company level, if you are storing, if you use as 100 GB of data you are storing, tomorrow you got huge transactions and you want to increase more 200 GB. It is not easy. It is not easy at all. You have to check your system architecture also, whether your system 200 GB will support or not. If your system will not support 200 GB, then even though you use 200 GB, even though external hard disk you kept it as a drive, but the system will get lagged. The system performance will get degraded. So this is all you have to take care. But here, no, if I use storage account, if I selected storage account in the cloud, then I selected 100 GB now. Tomorrow I want to increase 500 GB, yes, you can increase 500 GB dynamically. It changes the system. You no need to do anything. Everything take care by Microsoft. You increase 100 GB, increase it. You want 500, you can increase 500. So this is something called, they have created one portal, they created one store. The store name, from there you can purchase anything. And the store name they have given here as Azure. The portal name, the store name. How you purchase a product from Amazon and Flipkart? You pay the amount, you purchase the product. The same way here also, you pay the amount, you no need to pay for a full of license. This is just like a rental purpose. This is for like a rental purpose. How much time you are using it, pay. If you are not using in the night times, just stop the service. That amount will not charge. But in your company level, whether you start, whether you stop, whether you're not using, you have to pay the license cost. Here, when you talk about Azure Data Factory and Azure, the what we call the manpower is less. We require when we start a business, the manpower is going to get less. But here, every team is required. IT team is required to handle the system. Developers are required. If it is SQL Server, if it is a database, a separate database, or it is a storage, separate data storage team is required. ETL developers are required. SQL installation DBA team is required, and to take a backups every day. If data is get lost, then we require DBA team. Okay, database administrator team is required. We call as L1, L2, L3 team is required, supporting team. But here you no need to worry. Background, whatever you are storing it, if you are storing the storage, you are acting like a virtually, but background, there is a data centers. Each storage they have a data centers. If you observe, you are storing in Gmail, you're storing in Google Drive. They are giving you 15 GB. Where it is storing? You are storing the photos, images, documents. Where it is storing? You are acting like a virtually. You are acting like it is storing in the cloud. You are acting like it is storing in your drive. But physically, their background also, there is some physical data center is there. That is what, if you talk about one company called Mindtree, that company mostly hire for Microsoft. Why? We require a lot of support team. Maintenance team is required. This company mostly hire for Microsoft for contract base. Why? There are a lot of opportunity. When you talk about Azure, in Azure also you have to help the clients, we require support for Microsoft. So that is what we have more opportunity on Microsoft as well for giving us support. So data center, who will be managing, who will installing, is definitely there will be scripts. So to start up this business, either you in on-premises, every software you have to purchase, or every software you have to purchase. Okay, every software you have to purchase with full of license. But coming to Azure, what is happening? You don't need to purchase any license. You just use to use rental purpose. And for 1 month project, use 1 month project. After that, you want to stop, you can stop. That amount will not touch. So this is we call as cloud. This is we call as public cloud. Anyone can come. There's no restriction. Anyone can come and can purchase anything. Now, when we talk about private cloud, if you observe, when you go to the company level, what happened in your company level? Let's suppose you install SQL Server. There is a SQL Server database is there. You want to access from your local system, or there is another system also there. Okay, there are some systems are there. You want to access, and this is in your company level. Let's suppose I am working for IBM. So you have to be there in domain in IBM. That means you are the employee. Then only you can access, because in the company level, they have a private cloud within the company level. Only those company employees can access. How you going to access? That private also you are required with VPN to access from your on-premises. To access from on-premises, you cannot directly access that cloud. First, you have to connect that VPN. When you are accessing from your system, okay, first you have to connect to VPN, virtual private network. That private cloud you have to connect. Then through that private network, you are going to connect to the other system in company level. But when we talk about Azure, this is like a public cloud. This is like a public, any person can come to this portal. If they want SQL Server, they can purchase. If they want virtual machine, they can purchase. Storage, they can purchase. Just you require one login, user ID and password. Definitely, there will be also having security. What is that security? We'll discuss it. Here there is VPN. Here also we have a security, IP address configurations. We'll discuss that. And the other cloud is hybrid cloud. Let's suppose this data is very important for us. Let's take this data is for DRDO data. And I want to use from cloud is data factory, ETL I want to use in the cloud. End of the day, if you see, if I maintain my DRDO data, that is the defense data in the cloud, and this Microsoft is also from US company. So I don't want to maintain my data in the cloud. A data I want to maintain in my on-premises, but I want to access the ETL tool from cloud. ETL tool I want to access from cloud, and database I want to maintain in my company level only. So the combination you use like a private and public, nothing but your hybrid cloud. That is a hybrid cloud we call. Some services, some sort of services you are using from cloud, some sort of services you are using from public cloud. That is nothing but your hybrid cloud. Okay. So this is something called BI end-to-end process. Whenever you go, anywhere you go, you have to design this architect. Okay. So see here some examples. So I have many things, PPTs and all. Before that, let's understand the process. If you understand the process, data factory is easy. It is drag and drop feature again. So this, you can see this is one basic architecture. What we are doing in this one, we have a different sources. The sources may be come from files. The sources may be come from databases. The sources may be come from the cloud data lake, anywhere. What is our role? Our role is to extract the data. Our main role is to manage the data. Our main role is to transform the data. Our main role is to clean the data, to understand the data, because data is in different ways. We cannot restrict the data nowadays. Data is used volume and data is coming from anywhere. The data may be any format. Structured data, it may be a file, CSV, TXT, whatever it may be. Semi-structured data, it may be JSON format, it may be XML format, or it may be unstructured data. Any data comes. So our responsibility is to extract those data, transform them, load the data in one, whether it is a data warehouse, whether it is a cloud data, whether it is a data warehouse. Once the data is available, then this reporting team will come into the picture. That is what nowadays, when you learn about the Power BI also, I'm not talking about only Power BI. When I talk about reporting, means any reporting tool. Why we displaying here as Power BI? Because there are more visualizations. More visualizations, that's it. Nothing more extra here. The reporting tool only. This is reporting tool, not ETL tool. Okay. So nowadays, this reporting tool is also asking for ETL along with ETL, whether it is SSIS, whether it is a data factory. So there is, with the combination only, they have a requirements, they have a interviews. Without holding just Power BI, you don't have that requirements, you don't have the job opportunities. If you're going for individually data factory, yeah, there are a lot of opportunities are there. If you are just going for Power BI, because what is their work? Just to display the data. And how we are getting this data? This data is getting through your ETL. If the data is not there, then what is their work? So that is what they are asking nowadays, a combination. They are asking the data for combinations. Okay. So this is another picture. So this is for your data factory. What we are doing here, we are extracting again data in different formats. Business data through our data factory, ETL tool. We extract those data. So wherever the data is, earlier we was handling only structured data. Then Microsoft come across with a concept called data factory with any format, any size. Nowadays, we are using our data factory in artificial intelligence. So how they are getting the data in artificial intelligence? They are using the chat GPT, AIs, other applications they are using, a big data, how they are using, how they are processing the data. So we not only we need to target for BI, also you have to look for next future is artificial intelligence. So for artificial intelligence, our role will be only ETL. Our role will be work on data factory. See, it is very simple. You just need to understand the architecture, from where to extract, how to extract, where to load, from there how to extract and how to load it. And lastly, these people will come. So like this, I have many diagrams. I hope everyone can able to see the screen diagrams.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is
Yeah.
one of the another diagram that you have to develop. So this is all we are going to discuss in our regular class. So today I'm just giving you some theoretical. I just want to show you this diagram with the practical. In tomorrow's class, I'll give you the practical with this diagram. We'll see one example. Then we'll see how this people will come into the picture. This again one more external data. External data means it may come from your system also. If you install SQL Server, I'll get the data from SQL Server also. The data is external data. Load first in the blob storage. There's a cloud storage by using the data factory. Once the data is there here, load the data in the data warehouse. Then it will use for analysis. Then either you can connect to analysis, either you can connect to the data directly. So this is something called, what I am trying to explain is regarding the BI process. So BI process is nothing but we are completely any format data, whatever it comes. Okay. BI is nothing but any format of data. Any format of data. It may be structured data, it may be a semi-structured data, it may be unstructured data. Whatever this data comes, the data must be transformed into meaningful information. That information will be understood by the owners or user to take business decisions. So it's all about taking a business decisions. We require BI developer. Until unless there is no BI developer, they cannot take the business decisions. Wherever the business start, we require BI developers to analysis. Some companies they give you designation called data analyst. Some company they'll give you a role called BI developers. Some company they give you for senior developer, or if you go for Capgemini, they'll give you consultant. Minimum if you have a 3 to 4 years of experience, they'll give consultant. Nowadays, if you're going for Azure, you have Azure developer, you have a Azure BI developer designation, or ETL developer, or ADF developer. So the important here is what is my background? Will this course is suitable for me or not? That is more important. See, don't go blindly. We have many tools. If you give me some time, I'll list it off more next 10 to 15 tools, which is there in the market. And why we have Azure BIs? Yes, definitely it is a cloud combination, and it is more important is in data factories, any format. If you go and see in artificial intelligence also, they are using ADF. When you have opportunity here, you will be working on this role. Okay, so what is my background? Very important. See, guys, what is my background? Did I come from any ETL background, or am I come from database background, or I know the SQL queries, or I know the reporting background? The reporting may be any reporting tool, or I am completely new, or I am a non-technical background, or I am from BPO background. Any background. If you are from this any background, they can easily go for Azure BI course. Azure BI developer or ETL developer. If you are into this background, or if I am from already Azure developer, that is come as a programming, that is from like a Java, .NET, C#. So those people will come under developers. Again, there is a Azure admin is there. In Azure admin, again, there are some subscription, some access related, some billing related. Okay, the account managing. So this all comes under the Azure admin. There is one more account is Azure DevOps. If you are for operations, code merging, code merging and other stuff, you are from that background. So we are not going to discuss any of this module. We're only discussing about Azure BI development. Those people are already there, or some people who already working in some company, they want to migrate into cloud, then this is the best way. If you see my 7 a.m. batch or 9 a.m. batch, most of the people are experienced people who already working some X companies. And also the people who are from BPO background, they want to migrate into some IT side, then this is the best way you can go for it. So we are not touching anything programming at all here. Yes, definitely there is one service called Databricks, that time we are going to discuss that. Okay, now what are the topics that we are going to discuss in Azure BI? See, Azure BI is nothing but it is a kind of module. Under that, we have Azure Data Factory, we have other stuff like Azure Data Lake. These are the topics that we're going to cover. Azure subscription. Azure subscription. In again, Azure subscription, we have three types: free account, pay as you go account, and student account. And again, we're going to discuss about Azure storages. Again, in storages, we have blob storage is very, very important. File shares, table storages, queues. Again, we have a module called Azure SQL. Again, in Azure SQL, we have Azure SQL database. We have topic called Azure SQL managed instance. We have a topic called Azure SQL in VM, virtual machine. Then we are going to discuss about how to creating of virtual machine. So you no need to create a system. System you are going to create in the cloud. What operating system you want? 2012 Windows machine, 15, 16, whatever you want, you can create. Machine, how much GB you want, how much RAM you want, everything you can create. Then we're going to discuss about data lake. Under data lake, there are two important modules: data lake Gen 1, data lake Gen 2. Very, very important. Nowadays, we are using only data lake Gen 2. Then we are having concept called Azure Data Lake Analytics. Very, very important. Okay. And data lake analytics, after that, we have SSIS model. There is definitely I'm going to discuss about SQL Server integration services. It is upon your choice. Earlier, this is the old tool. Now we are migrating into new tool. This will support only structured data. It support any format of data. Any format of data. Structure, semi-structure, unstructured. Any format of it. Structure. No other tools like support as the data factory. Multiple sources. Okay. And else we have what else? Azure Active Directory. We have Azure Logic Apps. Don't worry, I'll give you the course content, proper content. I'm just giving you on the fly. Okay, we're going to discuss all these details. Then we have Azure Databricks. We have Azure migrations. Again, migration by using backpack, by using Azure assessment migration. Definitely one question will be asked about migration. You are moving to the cloud. Definitely one question will be raised. What is that question? Azure migration process. This question will be raised. So that time you have to explain. So these are the topics that we are going to cover. Okay, in our regular class. So I have many other things, PPTs that I'll discuss in tomorrow's class. So I just want to explain you this basic details. And the practical, what we have seen today's in picture, that I'll show you in tomorrow's class in practical session. Okay. Any questions, any doubts?